What's going on, fellas? So there's something going on around in the manosphere, men's community, red pill space, whatever the fuck you want to call it these days, G. There's something that men are talking about, not only just talking about, but complaining about. All right, guys, and it relates to women. All right, fellas, there's a big complaint that a large contingent amount of men have in today's society. And that is, no matter how much, and this is the man talking, no matter how much I step up, no matter how hard I work, no matter how many weights I lift, no matter how focused I get, no matter how ambitious I seem, my woman still doesn't respect me and still treats me like a kid. All right, G, now, there's an irony in that statement. All right, fellas, remember the complaint. The more I step up, the more she lacks respect. So there's something I want to teach you guys today. There is much more power, G, because that's what you want as a man. When I say power, I don't mean brute force. I don't mean scaring people, G. I do not mean taking your fist and knocking somebody upside the head every time they're not aligning with what you want. What I mean by power is you have to be both the lion and the fox. Meaning sometimes, G, you got to stand on business and let a woman know what it is verbally, G. Sometimes you got to kick her out. But at times, G, there is much more power in presence than performing. There is much more power in shutting your damn mouth than trying to check a woman every time she step out of line. So I'm going to give you guys some mistakes that you might be making. All right, fellas, because respect from women, like I said, does not come from performing, G. It comes from you knowing who you are, not you becoming anything, G. You just being confident in where you are and being confident in your process. All right, fellas? So let's talk about it. Let's get right into it. Now, first thing I want to talk to you guys about is there are a lot of illusions in today's world. And if you don't know what an illusion is basically a mirage. You guys ever watch the old cartoons when like Bugs Bunny's in the desert and he out of breath and he can't breathe and he thirsty as shit, and then he see a cup of water just glistening in the sunset, but it ain't real, because as soon as he try to grab it, the shit disappear. All right, fellas, why? Because it's an illusion. It's not real. It's something that you think is there, you think it matters, you think it applies, you think it's going to get you respect. But whole time, G, that shit is fabricated. It may work short time, all right? I'm going to explain this shit. Some of you guys are twiddling your thumbs and you're antsy right now, and you like, KD, just spit it out. Give me the gems. G, I got to prep you. There's an illusion to performing for respect. All right, fellas? So, first thing I'm going to teach you before I tell you what you're doing, I'm going to tell you why performing for women is an illusion. Now, G, check this out. Some of you guys heard performing and you think, oh, simp. That's what you thought. You thought buying flowers. You thought tap dancing for this bitch. That's not what I'm talking about. Some of you guys tap dance for women and you don't even know. All right, fellas? I'm about to show you something, G. I'm going to break down some red pill language for you guys. All right, fellas? Some red pill language that I have used before in the past. But I want to simplify this for you pertaining to the illusion of performance for respect. Now, looks, money, game, and status. 4 pillars of a top tier man. Now, fellas, ain't nothing wrong with this. You gonna get some pussy ass dudes that's gonna tell you that you shouldn't have this and this don't matter. And they gonna try to cross this out and say God is the only thing that matters. Fellas, God wants you to have all this, all right? Little side note. Now, when you focus too much on this shit, I'm gonna make this simple, G, because the rest of my points are way more vital. When you focus too much on, see, this is not bad if you're focusing on this for you. And women are just a byproduct of this, because that's all women are when you're building this. They're just a result, a byproduct, a mirror. All right, fellas, I'm gonna get into that in a second. But looks, money, game, and status. Let's start with looks. G, ain't nothing wrong with you looking good. All right, fellas, but if you're looking good in the effort for women to accept you, G, I know. G, I do the same thing. When I go buy a t-shirt and I try it on, G, the first thing I'm thinking is what the hoes gonna think. Is the hoes gonna like it? Is the hoes gonna be there? But at the same time, G, if I don't like it, if it don't make me feel good, if I'm buying a shirt that I cannot afford, G, It don't make sense. I don't care about what this bitch think. At that point, now if I can afford it, if it fit good on me, if it's comfortable on me, and it just so happen that the bitch like it too, gee, I say bitch out of love for all you guys who get offended. If she so happen to like it too, gee, we all good. But I'm not doing this to earn her validation. I'm doing it, why? Because it's a part of me, and just so happen that she liked that part of me too. All right, fellas, pay attention, because when you looks max out of performance, gee, anytime your ass don't look good, you think that woman gonna stay with you? Hell no, you gotta keep up with the performance. It's like a comedy show, gee. Once the jokes start getting dry, people start yawning. People start getting up and going to the restroom. But as long as your ass is making people laugh, gee, they buying more tickets for the next fucking tour. All right, fellas, so understanding, looks is not a problem. Just like money, fellas, I'm about to cook y'all today, all right? Just like money. Making money is not a problem. For all you guys who say, well, all women want is money. Yes, fellas, we already know they critters. All right, fellas, that's all they want half the time. But at the same time, you don't use that as a catalyst to get women. Nor do you say that's the only thing women want. Because if that's the only thing women want, why are you trying to stack bread to get women? It doesn't make sense. All right, fellas, because just like the looks, once you lose your money, that woman is gone. The dates, the trips, the bags, all that splurging, it works short time. But once your ass get into a financial bind, or once your ass get tired of splurging on this chick, or once she start being ungrateful and feel like she's owed it, it's going to be a problem. All right, fellas, so you got to understand, presence over performing. When I talk about money, all right, fellas, this is a conflicting argument. When I talk about money, a lot of guys say, well, a woman should want me if I don't have money. No, G, that is false. Don't believe people who tell you that shit. All right, fellas, these are people who are projecting either their lifestyle or how they think life should be when they tell you that. Now, am I saying that if you don't have money, you can't get a woman? No, G. Money, just like all this stuff, is a symbol. All right, it's a sign of what? A divine man. This does not make you divine. This does not make you masculine, nor does it make you a G. All it is a sign, because I know a geek who got money and I know a G who got money. All right, fellas? So it's all performance. It's nothing that's going to keep a woman around and actually retain a chick. So you can have money, but that don't mean you simp, and that don't mean you splurge, and that don't mean you use it as a gauge to tell whether or not she's interested in you or not. Money is your power. Money is currency, just like energy. Energy is power. I'm not saying using money to manipulate women. I'm saying using money where you can pay a bitch to leave, G. You ain't got to pay women to come in. G, G, you can pay a bitch to leave. Like, you don't want to go here, take this, go. And then you lock the door. All right, fellas, now, game. All right, a lot of you guys want to know what's the right stuff to say. Gee, some of you guys need to learn how to pronounce words in the basic English dictionary before you learn. Gee, learn how to talk to yourself first. I'm going to just say that first, all right, G? Learn how to speak. Gee, you can't, G, I know this is off topic, but you can't even finesse a woman if you steady letting your mind finesse you. Meaning, G, you can't spread love if you ain't got it in you. Meaning, G, the shit that come out your mouth ain't even gonna make sense. You can regurgitate the same thing you done saw in the videos, but because you don't believe it, because you ain't present, it looks like performing. And then you get mad because you see Tyrone say, damn, bitch, I'll fuck the shit out you. And then she let it happen, and then you try to say the same thing, and it don't work. G, Tyrone is present. He really believes she gonna say yes. You don't. And you're performing, and she knows it. That's why she don't respect you. All right? Now, fellas, status. And this is the worst one. All right? Because this is the one that backfires the most. G, people going to leave you. All right? So if you get a woman and she like you because you got a lot of friends, you popular, that's okay. But if you're using that to keep that woman's attention, like if the only reason why she fuck with you is because your Instagram page, that's okay. But no, you're gonna have to keep it up, especially if that's the foundation. I'm not saying if you got an Instagram page, you're at risk of not being able to keep a woman. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you gotta understand presence over performance. Gee, your Instagram page, what you gonna do if they shut down Instagram? Lose your bitch. Pretty much, all right, fellas? When I talk about presence, when I talk about being grounded, when I talk about having aura, when I talk about knowing who you are, this is not it. It's like a car, all right? You are the car. The engine is your mind, all right? Your heart is the transmission. G, that alone, with some wheels on it, of course, all right? That's your legs, G. That alone would get you from point A to point B. But some of you guys think if you put a sunroof and you get some glossy ass paint, and if you put 20-inch rims, and if you get tinted windows and some LED headlights, you gonna keep women around. No, G, they just gonna stand there, look at your car, take pictures with it, drive it around. But at a certain point, when that check engine light come on, they out of fucking Dodge. Why? Because they weren't there for the car, G. They were there for the Instagram post. They were there for the aesthetics. I'm trying to show you something. This is not all about you just looking weak, G. This is about you losing your soul for performing for fucking women, G. Like a fucking monkey in a circus. G, check this out. What if one day women make up in their mind that they don't like all this shit? What you gonna do with it? Is it still gonna be important to you? Are you still gonna chase this stuff? Probably not. You're probably gonna be on Pinterest trying to find out what they like next. Researching TikTok hashtags trying to find out what women want instead of being the man you're supposed to be. So this does not create love. It does not create relationships. Gee, it don't create a good connection. All it creates is a codependent power dynamic, meaning the emotions, the love, the intimacy is codependent based on the dynamics of the power that you're just perceived to have. Because 9 times out of 10, fellas, this shit don't even be real when you be posting it online. It's just an illusion. All right? Now, guys, what are we doing today? All right, fellas? This is not red pill. This is not manosphere. All right, fellas? This is divine masculinity. What is divine masculinity when it comes to getting respect from women? I'll make this simple, short, and sweet. It's having the courage to speak your mind, set boundaries, set high standards, and speak with intention, and let a woman know not to cross those boundaries that you set. But it is also, it's just polarity, all right, fellas? Day and night, sunshine and rain. But the other side is, you know when checking her is worthless, G. You ever said something to your girl and you done gave her the whole 20-minute spiel, and then afterwards you feel like you was talking to a brick wall, G? It's just hitting the fucking wall. Some of you guys feel like y'all talking to a barbed wire fence, G. You scared to even say something, all right, fellas? So sometimes it's better off not to say something and let her figure it out on her own. G, you know how I talk about women or children because they're emotional? That don't mean you got to hold their hand and guide them like children, G. I'm not saying you got to babysit them like children. I'm just saying sometimes their minds move like children, all right, fellas? You get my point? You don't have to treat them like children. Just understand that they act like kids sometimes, G. All right? So stop babysitting these women. Bro, masculinity is not about trying to tell these women what to do. Let these women do what they want to do. They're going to make their decision anyway, because you'll realize you'll tell them something, they'll agree to it, and do what they want to do anyway. You'll realize she'll say, do you like this dress or this dress? And you'll say that dress, and she'll be like, okay, I'll pick this dress. You sitting there scratching your head like, why the fuck you ask me? You see what I mean, G? They're only going to go where the energy falls. So, speaking of energy, all right, fellas, you guys always know I got to give you some energy training, G. All right? You can't really diminish it. All you can do is move it somewhere else, all right? Energy don't die and energy don't lie. And when it comes to energy, just like life, just like aura, and just like your presence, women are only a mirror of you. All right, I'll give an example. When I go out, which I rarely do, all right, fellas, I'm a homebody. When I go out from time to time, I'll see women who are erratic, or women who are rude, or women who are unruly. Gee, most men would be like, look at that bitch. Or most women be like, ew, she's so rude. Gee, when I look at that woman, I'm looking around, scanning the room, trying to find if she with a man. All right, fellas, because this human nature, all right, fellas? It's energy. I know 9 times out of 10, depending on how long she's been with that man, or how much influence that man has over her, or how much she may be in that man's frame or not. Remember I said or not. Her actions, 9 times out of 10, remember she her own vessel, so she do what she want. But most of the time, especially if he's in a room, Her actions are usually based on his energy. I'll give an example. Let's say you sitting at dinner with your chick, y'all out on a date, and the server comes by and say, would you like water or Coke? And your girl get a server an attitude. G, 9 times out of 10, reason why she do that is because you let that shit happen. G, any chick I'm with know better not to be rude to the server. Why? Because that's my standard. So by proxy, that's her standard too. All right, it just works like that. Now, if I just met her, it probably won't happen. But if I've been with her for a while, G, she is only a result of me most of the time. I ain't saying, G, don't take full responsibility, G, all right? But most of the time, all right? So energy doesn't lie. I can find out a lot about a man by his chick. Now, people grow apart. I understand. So I said most of the time for the all police. So it's a truth. Just like life, just like aura. Women are a mirror of you. They're a mirror of your energy. They are a mirror of your presence or lack thereof. So if you can't get a woman to sit down or shut up or even fucking listen, G, sometimes it's her. Most times it's you. All right? Why? Because instead of being present, you're using these things and running your mouth to get her to listen. G, you don't think that when these women scroll on Instagram and scroll on TikTok and scroll on YouTube, yes, it is a lot of degenerate shit. It's bitches twerking. It's a bunch of bullshit, bro. Balloon pop challenges and all that dumb shit. But at the same time, there's a lot of motivation. There's a lot of inspiration. So you think when these chicks scrolling and they see one of my shorts pop up, you don't think that they hear the truth? G, they hear it all day. They mama telling them to stop being thoughts. You don't think they hear you? Gee, they hear you. They just don't want to listen. All right, fellas? So stop trying to get them to hear you. You move with action. You move with presence. You move with energy. You move divine. And you get over the illusion of being Gordy. Y'all know Gordy from the movie Us? Something I want to talk about, fellas, all right? And y'all know I always bring y'all the nuances. Now, little do you know, all women, all right, fellas? So the only time I'm going to say all, G. All women are an inspiration. Let me give you an example. If you meet a beautiful woman, right? You're lost in life. You have a purpose, all right? And you meet a woman at Chick-fil-A, right? Because your ass still eating Chick-fil-A. You meet a woman at Chick-fil-A and she tells you, say, oh my God, it's just something about you. And you like, me? You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got no confidence. So you like, me? And she like, yes. I want you. Be mine. I want you. I want to marry you. I want to be your wife, right? It's real dramatic, right, G? Music playing in the background, all that shit. Flowers falling from the ceiling. So it's a beautiful moment. So she ends up being your girl. And by proxy of this beautiful, feminine, loving, nurturing woman, you start to become a better man. You start being confident. Your ass start going to the gym. You start brushing your teeth and putting on deodorant. You become a better man, G, right? You start to get all this shit, G, all right? She got you glowing, okay, fellas? Now, let's say you meet a bitch named Jezebel. All right, fellas? And she's obviously a 304. She is also an inspiration as well. I meet a lot of men. All right, when I go to the gym, I meet a lot of men. And you'll see these guys, right? You'll see them sitting on a bench with their head down, with a hoodie over their head, and they just bouncing, right? They just going. And you don't know what they listening to, but you know it's demonic, G. You know he going through some shit, right? He fighting demons right now in his head. And you wonder, like, what's wrong with this kid? Bro, 9 times out of 10, some girl broke his heart. Some bitch named Jezebel. That's an inspiration, fellas. Remember I said women are a mirror. Listen to me, G. If a woman breaks up with you, she's basically telling you that you're inadequate. Now, you may not believe this, but I'm guaranteeing you, you're inadequate. 9 times out of 10, if you have common sense, you're going to fix that inadequacy. Your ego may say, who is this bitch to judge? Gee, she got eyes. All right, fellas? So understand, there's still an inspiration, G. I just wanted to throw, G, this don't got shit to do with the video. But for all you guys who are complaining about women, G, women are only a mirror. Women have been put on this planet to inspire your ass. Women can be a beautiful angel or an evil ass demon. It's about the man you are. It's about your energy. It's about whether you perform or whether you're present. You see how I tied that in? So it did have something to do with the video. I didn't even know that shit, G. I just had to circle back. I want to let you guys know the love you get from women, yes, it is to a degree contingent upon your capabilities, contingent upon how competent you are. But you do not have to earn respect. You do not have to earn love. That was your birthright. When God put you on this planet, he told you you are love. You are all this shit you're looking for. So G, if you understand how to do that first, love yourself first. God made you love when he put you on this planet. You ain't have none of this shit. Your ass was ugly as shit. Bro, baby pictures are ugly. You ain't have no money. You couldn't talk. And nobody knew who the fuck you was but your mama and that doctor who pulled you out. So why do you need this to get love? Sit on that. Let me tell you why this backfires, all right, G? When women go on red pill channels, all right, fellas, and I'm not gonna lie, fellas, I gotta repent my sins, all right, G? I've been guilty of saying certain things, G, but you know people grow, all right? People heal, they grow, they go through transformations, G, so I don't want anybody to say that I'm contradicting my past notions or my past theories. I'm not, G. I'm just getting a little bit older, all right, fellas? Getting a little bit wiser. Some of my hairs are turning gray, and I'm starting to understand and see life through a different lens. Just think about this. Just think about if you're a woman, right? Your name's Becky, and you're sitting on your couch, drinking a Starbucks, scrolling on TikTok, and you see some red pill channels, right? Manosphere, men's community, remember whatever the fuck you want to call it these days. And you see all these red pill coaches, and they say, women, you got to look smacks to get women. And then you say another one, say, bro, you got to get rich as shit, and you can't get no woman till you get a Lambo, because all women want is money. And then you see another guy and say, bro, you need to be an elite communicator in order to pull a 5. And then you hear another guy say, the only way women gonna love you is if everybody in your community know you. G, do you know what type of, G, check this out, guys, pay attention. Do you know what type of throne you build for a woman when you put that much energy into what is required to earn her approval? You see what I mean, fellas? All right, what you basically tell her, bitch, you so special. You are so fucking special. The only way you see me as something as a human being is if I'm Superman. Pay attention, fellas, all right? You are a human. God made you present. When God put you on this planet, he said be. He didn't say do. He said be. And y'all just moving. Be, G. Just be. I'm not, bro, if you be, you will realize, bro, listen to me. This shit ain't bad like I said. But your G, cart before the horse, G. Cart before the horse. This ain't bad. You got to find you first. G, you going to look like somebody else if you don't find you first. You going to lose that money. That game ain't going to work. And all those people going to fucking leave you. I've seen it time to time. I've tried this shit before. I've tried to do it backwards. It don't work, fellas. Presence before performance. Before. Horse before the cart. Before. Now, I'm going to give you guys 4 rules to being present. All right, fellas? Practical rules for being present. Number 1, guys, silence. All right? Every time a woman steps out of line or every time a woman disrespects you, you don't have to say something, all right? Don't take surface level advice and turn it into doctrine and turn it into your religion. What I mean by that, when somebody says, when a woman talks back to you, that's disrespect. Gee, sometimes it ain't disrespect. Sometimes it's just human nature to say something back. That don't mean you got to say something back. Just be quiet. Let that shit marinate. Gee, you don't know the whole time you trying to check a woman. Gee, a woman to check herself sometimes. Just be quiet. If she talk back, just shake your head and nod and be like, okay. And clock it, all right, fellas? Gee, whole time, 2 hours later, you let some women, not all of them, bro, some of them critters, but if you let some women go sit by themselves for a few hours, they gonna come back whole time, think you mad, think you gonna leave, and they gonna come back crawling on their knees trying to suck some dick. But some of you guys talk too much, all right? You talk yourself, Gee, you guys talk too damn much, I swear, bro. You talk yourself out of so much opportunity, bro. So much abundance, G. It's there right in front of you. You just gotta be quiet to hear it. Remember they say, you can't see God, but you can definitely hear him and feel him, all right, fellas? Now, next thing, all right, guys, a little bit more practical. I need you to move less, all right, fellas? And I'm not just talking about your movements. I'm talking about your decisions, all right, fellas? Every time a woman suggests something, that doesn't mean you have to move. Just because she gives you a suggestion, that doesn't mean you have to internalize it and consider it. Sometimes all you got to do is say, cool, I appreciate your suggestion or your recommendation, but I will do nothing with it. That's okay, all right, fellas? But some of you guys are so scared, and it has a lot to do with this too. You're so scared of detachment. You're so scared of losing a woman that you feel if you agree to everything she says, perform, that she's going to stay. The irony in that is she eventually leaves. Next thing, fellas, this one is important. All right, guys. Now, remember I said, fellas, contradictions. I got a few videos, all right, that a lot of people have watched. And I talked about feelings, all right, fellas. And I talked about how you need to get out your feelings, all right. What I mean by that is you need to stop telling people your damn feelings, G. All right, I got to be precise. Because some of you guys take one fucking word and then, like, you don't understand that one word has it's layered, G, all right? There's different definitions for the word feel. Feel can mean complain, or feel can mean console, like feel for others. Or you can be in your own damn feelings. That's what I'm telling you not to do. But what I'm telling you to do, when I say feel more, I mean understand women, bro. Gee, listen to me. Some of you guys are too damn demanding. That's not how you get answers from people. Gee, if a woman says, I'll give you a classic example, you don't love me. Some of you guys like, what the fuck? I done bought you this. I done did this. How the fuck you gonna say? Gee, you're doing that out of fear. You're not feeling. You're just doing. That's why you got to mention the stuff you've done, because you're not feeling. You see what I mean, G? Gee, the moment a woman says some shit, or the moment women get out of line, you guys start talking about what you did. I did this, and you left me. I did this, and you hurt me. I did this, I did this, and you betrayed. Because you have the illusion for performance to get respect. And if you didn't believe me at the beginning, you should believe me now. You don't have to do, just be. What is being? What happens when you be? You start to feel. When you close your eyes and sit still and stop being so fidgety and stop being a busybody, the first thing you do is you breathe. What's the next thing you do? Your senses kick in, your motor senses kick in, and you start to feel. It's a human consciousness, all right, fellas? So when you feel more and your girl is complaining and saying, you don't love me, you don't love me, you don't do this, you don't do this, all you can do is understand she's just trying to check your interest. She's just trying to see how much you care. She's just trying to see how your ass gonna respond. And you fail the test every time because you're so caught up on what you do versus who you are. If you are measured only by what you do, you are not a man. You're a circus animal. Now, last thing, all right? This is going to be another contradiction, all right? Now, remember I told you, conviction over intention, all right? But when you make moves, you have to be intentional, all right? About everything you do. If you want respect from women, if you want women to take you serious, be intentional. Be decisive. Know what you want. Sometimes you're going to change your mind. That's a human reaction to not being sure. And that's okay. I'm not saying you can't be sure. I'm saying be decisive. What I'm saying is be confident in who you are, your motives, and what you want. So if you want sex from a woman, you ain't got to tell her on a first date. Look, to be honest with you, I know we've been laughing and shit, but I'm just trying to fuck. So this the last joke, bitch. I gotta go. I'm not telling you to do that. What I'm saying is don't lie to her and tell her she gonna be your wife when all you want to do is fuck. That's how you lose respect. Don't lie to her and tell her that you got this life that you don't really got and you really broke. That's how you lose respect. Don't act, oh my God, be intentional. Tell the damn truth. You ain't gotta be honest with her. Just be honest with yourself. Real shit, all right, fellas? Don't let your girl watch this. Presence over performing. You do not have to earn respect. Yes, there are things that will get you respect. But if a woman can respect you for who you are, I'm not saying the loser version of you. I'm saying that higher version of you that is stripped away from all this material shit. That's what I'm talking about, all right, fellas? If she can't see that, bitch gotta go. All right, G? So I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. I'm sweating this shit. Share this video with a homeboy that this will help out. All right, G? It's your boy, KD. We out of here, baby.